Hello and welcome to What's Next Weekly, Premier NX's weekly podcast for forward-thinking leaders who aren't just keeping up with change, they're defining what comes next.
I'm Sophia Grant.
And I'm Alex Reed. Each week, we break down the biggest challenges and opportunities in business growth, digital transformation, and AI, giving you the insights you need to lead with confidence.
In today's episode, we're tackling a critical question for growing companies. What does a scalable customer experience model actually look like? We'll explore why CX problems are often operating model issues, how to balance automation with human judgment, and why visibility and control are the real keys to scaling without adding unnecessary complexity.
Let's get started.
So, to kick off this deep dive, let's start with a visual.
Okay, let's hear.
Imagine you walk into a really crowded restaurant, right? And instead of a host actually seating you, you just have 5 waiters staring at you while the kitchen is literally catching fire in the back.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a highly stressful visual.
Right, but that is exactly what is happening in most customer service departments right now.
It really is. And, management's immediate reaction is almost always the exact same. They just look at it and say, well, we need to hire more waiters.
Yeah, it's just this simple capacity problem.
Exactly. Because when you see a sudden spike in customer wait times or, a drop in satisfaction scores, it's so easy to just treat it as a service failure. But what you're actually looking at is an operating model illusion.
Yeah, an illusion. Okay, so it's like putting a much bigger bucket under a leaky roof instead of just, fixing the roof itself.
That is the perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
Because if you just keep adding more agents, but you don't build intentional pathways for how those requests actually move through the business, well, you just end up with way more people tripping over the same broken processes.
Yeah, they're just bumping into each other all day.
Right. And that lack of traffic control is really what separates the reactive companies from the high-performing ones. As your demand grows, if a super simple billing question and, say, a major product escalation travel down the exact same highway, you completely lose all predictability.
So you really need to establish that structure early, classifying the demand the very second it actually enters the system.
Yes, exactly.
But wait, I'm stuck on this efficiency part, though, because my brain immediately goes straight to AI.
Oh, sure. Of course it does.
Right. If the whole goal is just getting tickets to the right place quickly, shouldn't you just maximize automation to handle the front line and be done with it? Do you even need humans touching those early stages at all?
Okay, so that is probably the most common trap that growing companies fall into. You should really think of automation as the bouncer at a club, and your human agents are the bartenders.
Oh, okay. Bouncer and bartender. I like that.
Yeah, so the technology like those intelligent routing systems that use simple keyword triggers that acts as your bouncer. It checks IDs, classifies the demand, and basically manages the line. But the humans serve the actual experience.
Got it. So the tech just gets them through the door efficiently, but the human handles all the nuance.
That is the exact balance you need. Automation is there to support the interaction. It doesn't replace it entirely. Like when a customer interaction requires deep problem solving or empathy or, protecting brand loyalty, you absolutely must have a human in the loop.
Right, because a bot can't really empathize with a truly frustrated customer.
Exactly. The best models use tech to empower the human. That way, your team isn't wasting their day sorting through generic requests, and they can actually focus on what matters.
Okay, let's look at this from a mid-market perspective for a second, because building this highly structured, enterprise-level governance with, digital bouncers and routing triggers, it sounds incredibly heavy.
Yeah, it could definitely sound overwhelming at first.
Right. It sounds like a really quick way to lose the agility that makes a mid-market company competitive in the first place.
Well, it doesn't have to be some massive 10-step enterprise approval process. It's really just about building just enough structure to actually support your growth.
So keeping it targeted, essentially.
Exactly. Instead of a bloated workflow, a mid-market company can implement a super simple 2-tier routing system that's just based on urgency. It's targeted governance.
Yeah.
You gain visibility into where the bottlenecks actually are without, completely drowning your team in red tape.
That's actually why so many leaders end up reaching out directly to our team here at Premier NX. They hit a wall and realize they just can't figure out the co-sourcing or the governance piece entirely on their own.
Yeah, it's a lot to tackle solo when you're also trying to run a business.
It really is. Getting an expert perspective on your specific operating model can genuinely help you implement those targeted CX services so you can scale sustainably and do it without losing that crucial agility.
For sure. And before we wrap up today's deep dive, I want you to consider this. If your competitor's operating model allows them to resolve issues in half the time, they aren't just saving money on operations.
What are they doing?
They are actively buying your customers' loyalty with the time they saved. So you really have to ask yourself, is your current setup built to compete with that tomorrow? Or is it just barely surviving today's demand? And that brings us to the end of our discussion on building a scalable customer experience model. We hope this gives you a clearer path to structuring your CX operations for sustainable growth.
Absolutely. If today's episode resonated with you, please subscribe to What's Next Weekly on YouTube so you never miss a conversation. Leaving a like or comment helps us connect with more leaders like you.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. What's your biggest takeaway from today? Are you seeing the warning signs of an operating model that can't keep up with growth? Share with us on LinkedIn by tagging PremierNX and using the hashtag What's Next Weekly.
For more insights and to catch up on past episodes, head over to our YouTube channel.
A quick note, this podcast episode is based on articles and industry insights and was produced with the support of Google AI services.
Join us next week on What's Next Weekly, PremierNX's weekly podcast, where we'll continue exploring how to turn today's operational challenges into tomorrow's growth opportunities.
Until then, keep building what's next.